Hello friends, I'm here with the legendary Home Depot 12-foot skeleton skull. Here he is in all his ginormous glory. Well, I had this amazing idea. What if we made him a mask? So naturally, I went ahead and made a ginormous Ghostface mask. I 3D scanned this head, imported it into a 3D modeling program, and then scaled Ghostface to fit that 3D scan. However, as most of you are aware, who the heck has a printer big enough to print this? I have a CR6 Max, which is ginormous, and even still, it wasn't big enough to print this. I had to do it in 2 parts. So here is one part, and here is the other, and I have glued them together using E6000. You can see the Ghostface fits him quite nicely. However, I'm not quite sure that E6000 is going to be strong enough to withstand all the stress and weight of hanging on his ginormous head outside in the elements for weeks at a time. So what I'm going to do is reinforce it to give that glue a little assistance using a crazy tool you may not even know exists called a 3D welding gun. What this does is basically heat staples and melt them into plastic in order to help hold 2 pieces together. That is exactly what we are going to do with our ginormous Ghostface. When working with a plastic welding gun, you'll have several options of staples to weld into your project. Each one has a different shaped tip. Some are more ideal than others, depending on the kind of project you are working on. I want something with a little extra strength, so I'm going to use this zigzag pattern. The way it works is quite simple. You take your gun, you take your staple, and you position the staple inside the holes of the nozzle on the gun. When you pull the trigger, it will electrify these 2 terminals, causing the staple to glow red hot. With the staple glowing red hot, we will insert it into the model, then release the trigger, allowing it to cool. This will then permanently affix the staple into the plastic, and we can remove it from the gun and do it again. Let's do our first one. I've pressed the trigger. You can see it is now red hot. I let go of the trigger. The plastic will cool, locking it into place, and I will remove it from the gun. I will now go ahead and do the next ones. And there you go. 4 metal staples inside the seam. So now both halves of the model are physically attached by metal. I don't have to worry about the glue giving out and this piece falling to the ground. And as you can see, they are deep enough to hold, but not deep enough to be seen. The final step is to take a strong pair of clippers and flush cut them to the model. Bingo bango, a job well done by a plastic welding gun. And that's all there is to it. An amazing tool that you've probably never heard of that is super useful and super easy to use. Now I can stick this giant Ghostface mask on the big skeleton and don't have to worry about the 2 parts separating outside in the elements and falling to the floor. If you decide a plastic welding gun is for you, please use the link in my description. I thought it was time to share it with you guys. With that, you are on the 3D Rundown YouTube channel. I'm Greg Adventure, and using this awesome plastic welding gun to plastic weld these 2 halves of this 3D printed Ghostface mask was today's adventure. Hey.